In today's Business Spotlight, we're checking in with Superior Credit Union, and joining us today, the Executive Vice President of Sales and Lending, we have Keith Eiden. Thanks for joining us, Keith.
Hey, good morning, Holly.
All right, so tell us more about Superior Credit Union.
Well, actually, from the folks in the Lima area, of course, you've known us well. We've been around since 1954. Got our start with the Superior Coach and Bus Company back then, as for the employees. And eventually grew beyond that, with them closing the plant in 1981. The credit union looked for a way that it could survive and go forward. And we moved to what's called a community-based credit union, which we've been ever since. So we now encompass about 25 counties in Ohio, and we just added one in Indiana. And we now have one county pending in Kentucky and one in Michigan.
Oh my gosh, that is big growth. So, communities are embracing the credit union and your vibe and what you guys offer.
Yeah, we're basically, from a credit union standpoint, a cooperative structure. And what that means is we work in the best interest of the member, not necessarily a shareholder, because we don't have shareholders. So we retain those earnings so that we can go forward and expand services and provide value back to the member. So we always tell all of our staff, what we look to do for our members is what's in their best interest. How can we help them? And if we can do that, and if we can come up with products and services that does that, but allows us to continue to grow and move forward, that's what we do.
So yeah, checking accounts, savings accounts. Can you borrow money for cars, houses? I mean, what are some of the services that you offer?
Yeah, so traditionally all the banking services and it's all the modern services that people look for in mobile and remote check deposit things and home banking. We've moved into the business arena about 20 years ago, where we also do business lending and business accounts, investments, trust services. We have a trust department that we started about 20 years ago. And so all the traditionally, we always say credit union is our name, and that means credit is our first name. So that's what we provide, all the consumer products, consumer lending. Obviously, our big product has always been our mortgage services. We're probably the largest mortgage lender in West Central Ohio, and we've actually expanded that. We have a subsidiary of ours who is very good at processing and closing mortgages. So those mortgages come from all over the country for other credit unions who don't have those services available. So we process and close those here in Lima, and then we ship those back to the credit union or into the secondary market. So for those credit unions, it helps our staff because we keep them busy. Plus it brings that source to those credit unions who otherwise might not have been able to do that. So we close loans in Utah and Montana and Texas and all over the country.
That is amazing stuff. So this is like huge growth. I mean, like you said, you started out because of Superior Coach, and here you are in like 3 states now. I mean, do you see more growth, more changes ahead?
Yeah, Holly, it's like anything else. It's like a family's budget. If you don't grow, we all know expenses are going up. Obviously, with inflation, what it's done to the American family budget. Well, we're no different than that. So if we don't grow, we know our expenses are going up next year. So we continue to look for ways to do that. What we bring to the table, though, is we know that we have a good set of products and services and a fair value. So if we just go to market with that, it seems like we do really well.
Mm-hmm. I do want to comment about, it was very cool that you guys had an ad with the Cincinnati Bengals player.
Yeah, that really worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's cool stuff that you could do that kind of thing. But I mean, you're in the Cincinnati area, right? So that's, another way you can use that.
Yeah, we work very closely down in Cincinnati because we have good relationships with the University of Cincinnati and Xavier, and of course with the Bengals. And so when we had the opportunity to sign with Sam Hubbard, obviously we didn't know they were going to the Super Bowl, but that looked like a genius move on our part, didn't it?
Exactly. You guys knew. You were on top of it. Oh, Keith, thank you very much for sharing today about Superior Credit Union.
No problem, Holly. Have a great day.
You too. All right, don't go away. First Edition continues in a moment.